All right, everybody. Good to see you today on this Tuesday, the last week of February, Tuesday, February 25th. So, as always, let's check in, and especially just sharing what you're noticing about your thoughts, any repetitive thought that's appeared, um, any thought that has occurred to you that you'd like to do the work on. And okay, if that's not there, we'll just sort of be listening and watching. All right. So, Nanu, how about if you go first? And you all can especially share about how things are, what you're observing about yourself and eating and foods or your body. None.
Um, I, I noticed that when I'm following my plan, I'm peaceful. It's when I'm not following it that I feel I haven't done the right thing. And from one of your video, I'm wondering if it could be that I remember I have an image of my mother doing this nice and clean.
Say that last part again. It just was cutting out. You said my mother.
Okay. My mother was, I was about 12, I think, or 13, and my mother was doing the washing up and comment how pleased she was that there was nothing left on the plane because it was easy to clean. She was
Oh,
doing it by hand.
yeah.
And could that be the reason that I want to empty the plate every time, that there's nothing left, that I collect every bit of food? Could it be that simple?
I sometimes think, it doesn't take much feedback, especially childhood feedback. It's kind of like just, yeah, I mean, you kind of get one hit of something. Here's how it is. Oh, and then if you get another one that supports it, I don't know. That's been my experience. It's interesting. It's just to
Mm.
watch. And then I love, inquiry, just noticing.
Yes, I was writing about it and meditating about why do I need to empty the plate, that is stressful to leave something on it.
Uh-huh.
And that image came up. So I said, oh, interesting. Could it be just that simple? I investigate that.
Yeah.
So and
Yeah.
do the work on everything. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, love it. Thank you. All right. Julia, hello. There, you're
Hi.
unmuted.
Yes, thank you. I just saw that now that you spoke, Nanu, about emptying the plate. I was like going back in childhood, and I see these, double side opinions. Like in one way, we were brought up with a lot of, how you say, attention or awareness around that people were starving or suffering in some parts of the world. And also I can't recall it, but I think to eat your food, like when there was this dinner table thing that we had to eat at that time. And at the same time with other kind of food, it was like you need to control it. You can't control yourself around this food. So,
Mhm.
and I'm just seeing that actually where I'm at with many of my ways in life is this doubtful thinking, like one switch to one end of the extreme and another one goes completely to the other one, and then I found myself so lost in like in between, not knowing um what I'm feeling and not feeling good in any of the two positions. And I see that around food. And I saw now I have an evening home alone without my daughter. And it's like a little bit with the same with the thinking that I hate so much, the repetitive thoughts that I hate so much. I hate these patterns of that I don't know. It's like I don't know anything else but to go and eat. And I also hate this pattern, but it's like I don't know how, I don't find it possible to change it. Same with my thoughts. So
Mm,
it's like I'm caught in it, caught in this.
yeah. Yeah. That's a very helpful one. It's good to watch that thing that says the only option, the only like comfortable option, the only option is eating. Really interesting. That could be an interesting inquiry.
Mm,
Thank you.
mm.
Yeah. All right. Laura.
Good morning. I'm experiencing deep sadness today,
Hmm.
and I'm living yesterday still. But I see that yesterday, when I had pain come up, when I was bleeding, and it took me till this morning to realize what happened. But I felt pain yesterday, and I jumped to food
Hmm.
rather than sitting with the pain. So now I've got double pain. I've got double pain that I abandoned myself yesterday,
Hmm.
and I've got the pain that that I have to deal with in the first place. I remember LaKoya when she first, I think it was LaKoya, maybe not, but she was on one of these with us, and she said, "Yeah, what's going on has nothing to do with food," and it hit me so hard, like one of those moments where you know is true and you're not quite sure it's true and how it's going to hit you. Well, that's where I'm at.
Hmm.
It was like my food had nothing to do. It was a diversion. It was a cleverly crafted addiction to avoid. But I can see where it's a double pain now.
Hmm.
So I'm just here.
Yeah. It's a powerful inquiry too, to just, I mean, noticing that and being able to question, I did it wrong.
I
Yeah.
did it wrong. I did it. I hurt myself. I
Yeah.
don't know that I can see that that was right. I abandoned myself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It's like having a little compassion for the self. Like, um, I abandon ship. If I think the ship is sinking, I abandon it. And so sometimes that's exactly how we've experienced the feelings, strong feelings. Like they're just, they're so overwhelming, you know, and they are. I mean, so just to see I'm against it. So I need to get off the ship, and yeah. So, okay that you had that experience. All right. Thank you, Laura. Glad you're here. All right, Abby. Hello.
Hi. Oh, did you unmute me?
I did.
Thanks. Hi. I so my theme that seems to be recurrent for a few days now is just that I'm doing this wrong. And I am realizing that I'm doing this life thing wrong. Like I'm doing yes, the eating thing wrong. I'm doing I do the communication thing wrong. I don't say things the right way. I'm not getting my point across well. People are going to misunderstand me because I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing this like living thing wrong. Yeah, it seems to be the recurrent. I don't know why I'm smiling about it, but it's like everywhere, it's so funny because I keep every now and then. By the way, thank you for the how do your feet feel thing. I always forget about that. And like I said in one of the videos too, I was like, how do your feet feel? And I start to go there, and my ego is literally like, no, you can't do that. You're gonna, what am I gonna do then? You know? Yeah, you think of that, but I'm doing it wrong because I just lost my train of thought. But yeah, so it's like,
Mm,
yeah, I think that's just my constant theme.
mm. So good to notice. Ah, thank you. Okay, Teresa.
Oh boy. So my husband is traveling and he works from home. So I actually enjoy my daytime, my quiet, my house quiet. But then the evening hits and yeah, so I have been watching my plan that I had set for myself in the evenings of I stop eating by first it was 8 o'clock and then it was 7 o'clock and so I recognized this past week I've been kind of noticing of like, ooh, that's become a rule.
Mm,
um,
mm,
and so I just was noticing that and so last night my husband not around and I did a lot of wonderful things. I whatever and I even was just noticing like I had sat down and did the compassionate advisor video and was journaling and writing. Like I did so many wonderful things. And then my daughter came home with a pizza at like 8 o'clock. She works at a pizza place. She comes home regularly with pizzas. It's not a big deal. It's how she feeds herself when she goes to school the next day, whatever. But I normally don't eat pizza when she comes home, not because I'm restricting or not allowing, because at 8 o'clock at night, normally I am not hungry. I am getting ready for bed and I'm getting ready to brush my teeth and whatever. But because I had been questioning, oh, this is a rule, I had forgotten why I had set up this plan. So I had a couple pieces of pizza and then I realized, oh, I set up this plan because I don't like going to bed with the feeling of full. That's uncomfortable and I want to be comfortable. I want to be satisfied and not hungry by any means, but I don't like going to bed full. And then it all fell apart. Like it all went downhill from there in my thinking, because what I'm seeing this morning, because instantly wanted to just go throw up. Like I just wanted to force myself to throw up. And all I could think about was, what would kindness do? What would kindness do? But I didn't know for sure what kindness would do other than get in bed. Like you've got to just, it might be helpful if you just went to sleep and ended the day. Which I don't know if that was being mean to myself, just you can't handle this, so go to bed, like in a mean kind of a way. I don't know. But what I'm seeing this morning is it's just a confirmation that I am bad. Like my eating, my thinking, I was doing all the right things and look what happened because you're bad. So I feel horrible. And that's where I'm at.
Thank you, my dear. Yeah. Thanks for your honesty, everybody. We'll get to inquiry. It'll be good. Donnie, how about you?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm still dealing with my vertigo attack and still getting this spinning thing.
Uh-huh.
And what I learned to do there, I think, is very helpful also in the eating. It was realizing that instead of running away from this energy, staying with it, letting it be whatever it is. And that helped me a lot because the fear, the anxiety, all these things were removed. So it's only me and this energy of spinning.
Mm. Mm.
And when I let it be, it passes very fast. So I'm not okay yet, but I'm okay with that.
Wow.
So I took it to the eating thing also. And my problem is in the evenings. I never stop eating. It's like
Mhm.
dinner and then the next and the next and the next.
Mhm.
So instead of running away from this energy of craving, I'm trying to stay with it, just be with it and see what happens. And like the spinning, I don't care if I fail, I did it wrong, there's no such thing. If I ate, I ate. If I didn't eat, I didn't eat. And the life is so good because they give us again and again the option to try it again. So
Yes.
that's why we can't fail, really. There's no doing it wrong. It's
Yeah.
either you did or you don't. So that's, and I seem to notice that the eating is a little bit slowed down. It's less. Like I decided not to eat after the last bite in the evening, and yesterday it worked. And we'll
Ah.
see about today.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
So this I don't know mind also is helpful.
Very. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a gentler mind than I know.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know, and I did it wrong, and I'm a loser, and all these things.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Now, but this is on the surface, and I feel there is something underneath that I didn't really touch yet.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to understand it. I don't understand it yet.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens.
Yes. Love it.
Thank you.
Maybe that'll come rising up in inquiry today. So we'll see. But beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Gabrielle's here. Take you off mute, Gabrielle, if you can share.
Hi, good morning. Oh, I just realized I was about to flash you guys. See Daisy. So, I am, I didn't eat correctly yesterday, and but I didn't eat to where I wanted to throw up or eat till I felt awful. Just ate, and it wasn't really the best, wasn't nutritionally sound by any means, um but I'm okay. I was okay last night. I'm okay this morning. um I think that for me, exercise has always been a struggle, a thing that I'm supposed to do,
Hmm.
and then I get into the, no, you're not my boss. If I have an urge to exercise, if I sit on the couch and wait, it'll pass.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but when I exercise, there's that saying you hear around, and you never, after you finish a workout, you're never sitting there going, I wish I hadn't done that. And that's so true for me. And I think that's partly why I'm more balanced this morning, is because I've been exercising. And I'm not forcing myself to do an hour. I'm doing whatever I feel like I want to do, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. If I have the energy, I'll do more. And I'm being easy with myself. I'm not like saying you didn't do enough or you have to do it. If I don't feel like I have the energy, I am not going to do it, but I know that I'll do it the next day. I'm in a more relaxed place with it. And that is so good for my head.
Awesome.
so important for my mental health. I mean, because things get very dark and very, I get hyper focused on stuff that
Uh-huh.
is really unimportant in the scheme of things for me.
Mhm.
And so that's been helping a lot. And I'm just in a good place this morning, and I'm mostly going to just listen. I'm not going to participate. I'll listen to the call and enjoy. Thank you, Teresa, for being so honest and, risking saying that stuff. So, and I came in late, so that's all.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you,
All right.
Teresa.
Thank
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just as beautiful to do all that. Well, do the work on the shoulds of exercise. Yeah, it's very interesting. All right, Jess, you can take yourself off mute if you're able to share. For some reason, I'm feeling like I just saw you say you might be here, just listen only. You can share. And then, is that Lakoya on the phone? Same with you. You can unmute, or I'll unmute and you can share if you are able.
Hi, Grace. This is Heidi on the phone.
Oh, Heidi. Okay, hello.
Hi. Yeah, I'm calling in from work, and I probably won't be able to stay only like another 10 minutes.
Yes. Okay.
But all is good.
Awesome. Nice to hear your voice. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then the other phone, that might be, who's this on 240? If you're able to share, just be quiet if you can't share.
Hey, I don't know if you can hear me, but this is May.
Yes. Hello. Nice.
I'm happy to be here.
Oh, good to have you. Good to have you. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, so good. Okay, everybody. Well, I think let's take a look at this thought. I did it wrong. And narrow it down to your moment, looking at either the way you're thinking or that the compulsive bite, eating the whole plate, whatever comes up for you.
Great.
Yes.
Is it okay if it's a moment that's not about food?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
you. That. You bet. So everybody find that. And what's really helpful is, because sometimes this thought is so stretched over time and it's happened so often, we're just going to look at the one moment, really take a look and narrow it, like we have a little spotlight on that moment. Like you're watching a movie of your life and you're going to push the pause button on that moment. And you did it wrong there. That was the wrong thing to do. Say, do, behavior, whatever. So is that true? And same thing always with these inquiries. If you want to speak out loud, you can, just answering the question. If you like to write it in the chat, okay. You can also just let it be writing on your own. Whatever works for you. Can you absolutely know that that's true, that you did it wrong?
No.
Just notice there's no wrong answer. So if you have a double yes, it's okay. So what happens when you think this thought? I did it wrong. Just notice what this thought is like. Where does your mind travel? Notice what the feeling is in the body. So just notice, I did it wrong in that situation. So this can be helpful sometimes to notice the feeling in the body and the temperature, the texture, the color of this feeling, I did it wrong. The shape of it. Just looking at what happens with this being or organism that is you, apparently. Remembering with the thought that was wrong.
I had the strangest image when you were talking about the texture and the color and what it felt like. And I had this image. Keep in mind, I've never been to Hollywood, but I had this image that I belonged on some like seedy street in Hollywood, like near these like dark bars where there's like the imagery was incredible. Like I just belonged on the side of the street in what would be like the most discouraging environment.
Wow.
So intense and so interesting and such a wow, what imagery to come up. It's something I think I did wrong that I don't even know. It's just kind of profound that sense.
Beautiful. Yeah. A dangerous neighborhood, a dark neighborhood.
Seedy.
Seedy.
Yeah.
Right. One down. Hollywood is kind of fun too.
Well, I know, I'm like, I have no idea what Hollywood's actually like.
I know.
A grainy feeling, like rainy and
Yeah.
almost like this feeling of wanting to throw up. Weird.
Mm-hmm.
I get
I
this
know what.
feeling
Oh,
in
sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, thank you. I get this feeling around the throat area, and it feels like, I don't know, a rectangle, but it feels like, how you can say, not a crucifixion, but something that is like a knife or something very sharp that is going to the throat and also going into the heart area. So it's like immediately punishment, and I did it wrong, and there's no space in between to question that. It's just like, ugh. There's no question about the punishment.
Wow. Yeah. Thank
May
you.
I share something?
Yeah.
I notice like a tightness in my chest and also a heat in my chest, and this kind of shrinking feeling, like my shoulders start to slouch. I start to just feel smaller overall. And I had a past image come up of when I was very young and accidentally dropped a robin's egg out of the nest and broke it.
Mm. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Mm.
So I know I
And
said I just. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And just a sense of shame along with that.
Yeah. Thank you. Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I will try once again. I said I wasn't going to talk, but I'm going to just say that my thing is related to a very, what I judge as a minor thing after I've had a couple of days, but it's been sitting with me because I forgot to leave the key for my cleaning service.
Right.
to come in. What was that?
I said, right. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I did it wrong, but it's, it's really that I made a mistake, and when I believe that thought, I hate myself and judge myself. But the thing that I'm finding interesting is that I have to admit I'm imperfect, which I hide pretty well.
Mm.
And I also feel needy. I feel like I need to be forgiven. She, avoided my calls, and I sent a check, but she hasn't responded. She hasn't said, she hasn't done what I would have done when clients forget their appointments with me, which is, it's okay, it happens. Thank you for paying me. I just want something, and it feels hollow and cold in my stomach. It just feels icky. Anyway, that's it.
Great to notice. Thank you. Yeah. And some of you might notice, you see the thing that you did wrong, the words or the behavior or the eating, like it's a replay of the film. Right? See it over and over. And maybe thoughts of like, if it hasn't happened, if it's not the only time it's ever happened, seeing, stretching into your past, like examples, and how this is never going to end and it's going to keep going in the future. It's impossible to stop. Always be like this. So you did it wrong. Okay, anything else? Might be worth noticing sometimes the reaction in that thought or a second later is, I'm going to go find out how to do it right. It has to be somewhere. It's not here. You have to get the answer.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed there's a sense of like not only I didn't do it right, but like I need to improve something or change something and make it better. And then maybe I'll get the desired reaction from the other person involved, and then that'll be proof that I'm doing it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's like kind of worry, and like it's like I'm criticizing myself with the intention to motivate myself to do it better or do it more right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, and I tear myself apart just for fun, just to add on top, just to make a wreck of my physical appearance, my emotional life, just like, oh, I suck.
Yeah.
For me, the moment I felt disconnected, pain, disgusted with myself, brutal, kept eating, no hope, distraction, lonely, discouraged, worthless. When you asked where we felt it in our body, I could feel that heat in my chest. I want to move away from this moment. I want it to end. I want to go to bed. I want tomorrow to start so I can start again. I'm confused and I can feel completely disordered. Disordered.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you, Laura.
Thank you for listening.
So just in noticing, you can see and relax this. No right answer, and you don't even have to go here. But just see who would agree with you if they saw you, especially in family of origin. Sometimes that can be helpful. It's just watching, I did it wrong.
Definitely my brother is coming up again. He's coming up a lot, but he would criticize me so much, and he would tell me how wrong I did things, how wrong I was with life, how wrong I was with whatever I found passion or joy in. It was just wrong, and I should, what did he say in the words? He said, like, I should, how you say, when you have to, I don't know the word in English, but it was like you have to conform. You have to conform or something like that. But it was just a very intense criticism around that I did it wrong, obviously, everything.
It'd be so helpful to notice somebody else carrying that they're right near, of course, doing the best they can with what they've got, but just delivering it, sharing it, being that.
I came up with, all men who would agree with me. All men.
Oh, yeah, really good.
Interesting. It's my father, my brothers,
Mhm.
former teacher, just all of this who would agree with me that I did it wrong. That's really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because my father was very good at controlling by disapproving of me and anyone, the waiter, he controlled people and they spun to just try to make him happy, and I did as well. Interesting, that's thanks for that question.
Yeah. So it's a good thing to note, great, like just watching this moment and the reaction to that other who we are often a little more lenient, a little more relaxed with in the end, but just to see can be a good, just this another scene, a good worksheet. And for some, there's even a sense of however we're seeing God, reality, the something that is where there's a right and a wrong, and that's how things are being seen. It's just to notice that perspective. I'm doing this wrong. I did it wrong. And you might have some thoughts about what right looks like. You know what right looks like. Those other people that do it right. Or if you had the alternate version of you in that moment, that would have been right. You might have that image. Okay, I did it wrong. So, who would you be without this thought? Just in that situation, what would you be? What would it be like? Not have that thought as you're looking at what actually happened. No thought that was wrong. How interesting.
Wow, I see that instead of that I failed myself or I betrayed myself, it came up like I changed my mind. Because like deciding that I don't need to eat anymore, or I can just enjoy the evening with myself, and then if I go eat anyhow, it's like all these attack thought comes. But what if I just changed my mind,
Wow.
and that would be okay? That was, yeah, quite amazing.
I didn't think I'd be able to find the turnaround her this question. I really didn't think I'd be able to do it. But it came up really fast. It was compassion that I felt, and I spared myself from facing pain at that moment. And maybe I just wasn't ready to face.
Oh.
And I picked a really yummy way to do it.
Yeah. Aw.
Because it's not an easy thing to face. It's not easy to deal with this.
Yeah.
So maybe I find it more gentle.
Yeah. Yeah. A little softer landing or something. Like, yeah.
Softer right into chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Chocolate's a lot softer.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
May I share something?
Yeah.
So this is for question 4, without the thought that I did it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So in my moment, I was dancing, and my boyfriend like looked away from me. I was like doing like a little performance thing, or I was practicing, and so without the thought that I did it wrong, I would say, "Will you watch me, please?" I would ask him.
Mm.
Yeah.
So sweet. It's like noticing just what you want as a delight in the moment and asking for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. It also can be dear to like see if you are doing it like Laura was on, like noticing a moment, noticing an experience, taking something in of the world, and noticing that taking in includes this thing called food, the qualities of that food, kind of maybe it's sweet, or maybe it's something savory, which I love that word, savor. I'm savoring something, or it feels very solid, or hearty, like heart. You just see what qualities seem to be interesting in that moment. I mean, noticing that, like the physical aspect of that thing, taking it in as medicine, without the thought that it's wrong. And you can notice that quality might be possible without any food, without food being the thing that happens. Just seeing it, using it as a something interesting for yourself to find. What is that? What is in that thing? What did I like some? What's the sweetness? Wanting to make this moment a little sweeter. And without the thought that that was wrong. So let's find turnarounds. And one more before we go to all the way to the turnarounds is just staying there without the belief, without the belief, and just feeling that experience of that moment, the room, almost like the way we do, where it's like a short little vine, like, a few seconds long, or just a paused moment in time that we're seeing. But what that whole environment feels like, what the energy's like between you and reality, between you and that moment, without the thought that there's something wrong with you, that you did it wrong.
I, interestingly, the obvious, I did it right. But then I just thought, let me just say I did it. I just did it. It's not, I just did it. It's not as big as I'm making it.
Yeah,
Just did it. That's all.
yeah,
Did it for me. Yeah.
that's lovely. Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you.
It is actually, I don't know, we have moved to the turnarounds. Yeah.
If your mind's
I-
traveling there, yeah, it's totally fine. Go there.
Oh, so that's actually the first thing that popped into my head was I'm doing it right. And the example that I came up with immediately was that I'm doing it right because I'm doing it. Or I did it right because I did it. And in the sense of like, for me, so much of what happens for me is I want to check out of life until I'm this perfect person in my image of whatever I'm supposed to be to live my life. Particularly when I start to put on weight and then I'm heavier than I think I should be, then I really, or I'm eating, whenever it's around food or weight, I really want to check out and be like, I can't, okay, put a hold on everything because I can't appear in public until I'm acceptable. And so it's very clear to me. And right now, feeling like I'm doing everything wrong and have done everything wrong, it's like, but at least I'm doing it. And that to me is doing it right. It was like really felt like it was a turnaround for me in that sense. Like, at least I'm trying, because the other alternative has always been an option and I'm not going there. So the ultimate not trying. So, I have to accept that, not I have to accept, but that I'm doing something right because I'm still here. And that's been questionable on occasion. And I'm still trying to do it despite this tremendous ego.
Yeah.
So that's just what popped into my head. So and then
Yeah.
it was Gabrielle who was saying, that, so I was like, all right, I gotta follow on that.
Yeah. 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 Interesting to like and putting that out there, like the turnaround, I actually did it right. Like, just how is it useful that it went the way it did? How is that supporting me, or just so interesting to find here?
I'm also just
oh, sorry, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead, Abby.
Well, I was just gonna say, what's funny about that one is that that's where I have to, if I watch my ego yet again, I watch it and it's going, you're just using that as an excuse. You're saying, how can you find the benefit in something that you did wrong? But in being able to watch that instead and allow the benefits to actually come in, some pretty significant self-awareness has come out of how badly I've been feeling, you know, or how wrong I think I've done things, when I let it happen and I say, all right, I see you over there, ego, going, yeah, but, you know, if I just see it over there instead of being like believing it, those insights that you're speaking of is what's beneficial from what came out of this. Like the realization that Laura just came to was, in my eyes, profound, you know, and to get to that is like what it's all about, I guess.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Anyway, sorry, go ahead, Gabrielle.
Oh, thanks. No, I appreciate what you're saying. You know, for me, this may just be for me, but you know, that's what the work is for anyway, for, you know, me to figure things out. So, you know, getting back to the I did it. I did it. If I do a turnaround of I did it wrong, or even just sort of extrapolating from I did it right, I came to I did it left. and then it came to I left it. I leave it. I leave it because I did it. I did it and I leave it. And so that feels really good and solid. And I think I can finally let go of forgetting to leave the key for my cleaning crew.
Yeah. That's great.
I saw something, I can't figure it out, but it's like I did it right, and then I saw that because with the eating, it's like, you know, letting go, not caring, and just allowing myself to be without any, how you say, constrictions, because in so many other areas in life I have so many rules for myself, and so little room to express and to just be and just do what I want. So it's like around food, okay, I let loose and I eat, and it's like so there was just this um feeling of, okay, I do what I want here. It's also this rebellion energy, but in a way it feels, and I don't have to justify it for anybody, or there will be no how do you say, attacks for it, except from the body of myself. So
What I love about what you're doing too is watching, instead of putting it all in a category of that's wrong, it's like there's some beautiful things about rebellious energy, or standing up for, or having pleasure, or dropping rules. Freedom, there's freedom in that. And then we keep going, but just watching, there's the quality of that. And then even if I stayed with that, you know, what's interesting about this, what's curious, like all the rules I have about my daily life, what are those, you know, just kind of seeing. Yeah, very it can be exciting. I love I don't know fully, I love looking up words and etymology, and if I'm remembering correctly, at least in English, right or wrong comes from like we say like something's a right with building, like actual physical structures, like you've got that you know, that construction thing that shows if something's, and they say it's true, it means it's perfectly perpendicular, or, and there's some wonderful things about being wrong, which is like more askew or just off an exactly even plane. Just the bumpiness or the seesawing that seems to happen in life or in stories or in thought might not even be good to be just on the desert at all times, flat forever. We might say, oh, I'd like a mountain, I'd like an ocean. And how about the turnaround? Wrong is doing me.
That's an interesting one.
And I just noticed the first thing that there's this place with the I am the one doing it. I mean, I didn't make up the incident or the experience that happened. I was just responding to life unfolding in that situation. My responding, my reaction. And based on what I've known so far, the mind is doing what it does. Maybe goes into survival mode, which is okay. Nothing wrong with having a survivor inside. Can be useful, apparently, hooked up that way.
So I just wanted to share real quick the whole I did it right and what can I find right. The interesting thing that came up was I was not eating mindlessly. I was very present in my choice. I was very aware, and there's something about, number one, owning my own power of I'm going to choose to have a piece of pizza at 8 o'clock at night. And then I think the panic came in when my mind was like, how dare you? Like, how dare you? Slap me with. So that's just it's so wild to me, this whole owning my own power, even with my own brain, and how scary that is for me, of owning my own power.
Yeah. If there really is no rule, you're totally free to do as you wish. I mean, how amazing. And I love you found that. It wasn't like you were just, what are those tapes, like the Watergate tape, 17 seconds are just blanked out and lost. No, I was there. I was there. Yeah. Which is great to notice. And I don't know if you all find this, I certainly can. It's like I'm doing it right. Look how much I've noticed from this. I mean, it's not as if it's lost, this wrongness thing. I mean, just watching, being so interested, caring about it.
Yeah, for me, it was even the noticing is amazing. And I really was trying to be kind. I really was. I was trying to figure out, okay, what's kind right now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So that's huge for me.
yeah. Beautiful. Yeah.
Something other than food, you know, and so I could have just kept eating, like, and there was really no desire to keep eating. I had what I wanted and I was fine. And in the past, I would have just kept eating until when I went to bed, I was probably at an 8.
Yeah.
Like not a 10. I was not stuffed, but in the past I would have just kept eating, found something else or whatever, the next greatest, latest thing, and
Yes.
went to bed completely miserable.
I love note. Isn't that amazing? It's very different then. I mean, just look to how different it is. Like the expectations we have of ourselves sometimes. But yeah, thinking if it's all wrong all the time, you know, I like to think about that 24/7, if the place is open all the time, 24 hours a day, wrong, then, you know, you tend to eat more. So, and I love that Donnie's sharing, you know, love does not mind if I eat too much or if I starve. Yeah, which is such a sweet thing to notice. That's why we're even here in this moment now. I always love the term, it doesn't mind. Love doesn't mind. It's like feeling that moment that you're looking at, that yesterday or whenever it was. Just being able to look at that without mind, without thoughts about it being true. I mean, we're having these thoughts and images and all that, and just opening up to who would I be without the belief my ideas about that are right. Yeah. And mind doesn't love. Yeah, love doesn't mind, and mind doesn't love. Yeah. So just learning, you know, learning like baby steps, taking a little step at a time and just watching this, whatever it is, our response to that thing. And if it's about eating and cravings and compulsion and what's been taken in and what hasn't been taken in, just to find that so very fascinating, you know, so interesting, even what I picked to take in, and just watching what this one does, like with a loving interest as inquiry. And you don't even have to know what's going to happen tomorrow, so you just get to find out and see. All right, anyone else want to add anything? Very sweet to be with you all. Love it. Love your presence. Nanu, a turnaround to the I. It thinks it did it wrong. Very nice. Yeah. Maybe this I that I'm saying, what is the I that's saying it did it wrong? It's just it. That perspective, mind. Thank you. It's good. Yeah. Kind of fun to say, it did it wrong.
Yes, I know. I notice the kindness. with which I can say that. Oh, it thinks it did it wrong.
Yes. Yeah. That is so sweet. So
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Ah, dear compassion for ourselves, just being with that moment. Yeah. All right, everybody. Lots of love to you. Take care.